Alright people, it's your dudes over at SMR. We're bringing you another Moto cast. Today we're at IMI Motorsports Complex, just north of Denver, Colorado, and we're going to be bringing you the lights class. This one, we got a guest of Steve Alkire hanging out with us. He might talk, he might not, who knows. And we got Simpy Samp as normal, and Johnny controlling everything.
No, you're good. Babe, where you are, I can't see it.
What's up, boys? You guys ready?
Oh.
I gotta evolve.
Steve's gonna be a mute today. I feel it. So we had Simpy actually qualify on pole. I think this is your first pole ever, right, Simpy?
Yeah.
And your first time in real rain conditions?
Like we did a couple laps in Wisconsin, but I don't really count it, so I count this as my first real rain race.
Buff Daddy, he whole shot you.
Yeah. Haven't been too great at starts this season.
What about Eller, dude?
Yeah, he was hauling some mail.
Yeah, Sketchballs. It's like if he keeps not being sketchy, I don't know if he can really keep the name Sketchballs.
He gets around that track so good, dude.
Yeah. That's always my problem when we go to IMI, is that all the locals have such good knowledge of the track.
Yeah. I think he had a little harder time in the rain, though, because, like, he kicked my ass in the dry. But I had a little bit of speed on him in the wet conditions.
How are your tires?
Well, I had a new set going into this, so it felt amazing, and I feel like that was a big contributor to the win. Foreshadowing.
Freshies, dude. Hey, my bad. I meant to say this is going to be AMA round 2 and also Colorado Supermoto round 2. It's a conjoined event for this one.
I knew this was gonna have to be the place where I made a move, because he was just taking a weird line into that one, like going super wide and like trying to slide into it almost.
Yeah, we could see lining it up a little bit. And that's a tricky one to set up because of the way that the entry apex to that corner is.
Whoa.
Oh my god, sketchy.
What?
Oh my god. And Tony Wink going by.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys have the vet class double gated on you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, we also had little baby Cam with us too. His first time out for Supermoto.
Oh, you're right. Yep. Running the, what do we call it, Johnny? The cross-platform program, or something like that.
Basically, an athlete from motocross, supercross, flat track, TT, whatever it might be, can get a free entry for their first time trying it out. So Cameron Barboa, supercross rider, he just threw some warp 9s on his IZ250F. Like he was like racing supercross the weekend before on. So
yeah, he had gone and raced Denver not that many weeks before this.
So did he have supercross suspension on it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think that was probably a good move.
Yeah.
You're on Charlie right now.
This was such a cool part of the track where you're just coming over that hill, just kind of like floating a little bit.
Yeah, if you're going to be stuck running asphalt only and you have to run that section that we don't normally get, at least that's a cool section.
Yeah.
With the dirt sections, we never really get to hit that one,
Well, with the dirt section, I think this race would have turned out very differently.
What are you saying? All you do is ride dirt.
Yeah, but Charlie's gnarly in the dirt.
Yeah, no, Buff Daddy is pretty good.
yeah, I could imagine him in the dirt on his 250F, absolutely sending it in there.
All right, let me run a hypothetical by you. Timmy V, Buff Daddy in the dirt.
Here at IMI, I'm gonna go Timmy V. Timmy will die for it. Charlie might have a little more, I don't know if smart's the word for it, but he's willing to die less than Timmy's willing to die.
There's only a few places to pass. Well, I guess there's a handful of places to pass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but so like with that being a handful, was it just the one spot that you really felt like you could get him, Simpy?
It was either going to be there or going onto the back straight. I was able to carry more momentum through there, or in this corner, I felt like I carried momentum too, going into that left-hander. Dude, I was like pushing both wheels in that corner. I could just feel it like on the verge of sliding.
That's
But
such a
those
cool
tires
feeling
were
though when you're
so
able to like
amazing.
trust it though.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, boy. We're all cheering for you. That's our guy.
Dude, I was just trying so
Dude, look
hard
at
not
that.
to,
Dude,
like,
look
get in
at
my
your
head.
momentum through that last corner. You're probably going like you're just turning circles in your head.
Just like, stop thinking. Just
Lord, keep me present.
just don't even think about it. You're just turning laps. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you actually laid down very consistent lap times through this whole race.
I don't know what it was. I think it was just the tires and some track knowledge there, but I felt so comfy that day.
Yeah, that lap you made the move was your fastest lap of the race.
Oh, cool.
and you wrecked this day in the 450 class. Was it your first moto or your second moto when you went down?
No, that was the first
moto.
450 moto. So it was
Yeah.
after this. This was before the first 450 moto.
Oh, okay.
But you guys did have a weird day because your second moto was going to come later than the Open Pro because of the light coming out and switching to slicks and all that stuff. Order got rearranged. Oh, dude, sliding down that back straight. That is a good feeling. Good feeling.
It was so cool.
There's
when it was
Cam.
all wet.
Poor dude would bring a supercrosser out and be like, hey, ride
Figure it
Supermoto,
out.
and it's just wet.
No dirt.
Yeah, the one thing you're good at, we don't got today.
I don't know. It sounds like he's still pretty on board with going out to Tucson, so it'll be cool to see him and do some dirt out there.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get him some redemption, let him ride a track that's really the true aspect of Supermoto, where you got the dirt and the asphalt and the whole thing.
Yeah, he didn't even get a practice day. He showed up and went straight into qualifying. So
Yeah, he showed up so late, or not late.
No, you remember he had to pick up my toolbox.
Oh,
You could see
yeah.
him on the cameras at my house. He got there and picked it up at like 10 o'clock at night and left Albuquerque.
So gnarly.
Dude, Sketchy's getting that entry good. That's a tricky corner. You boys know.
yeah, this track had me so confused. Wet. I was terrified at every corner.
I wonder if we had like bad rain tires on your bike like we did on Cameron's too. You know, like just ones that the rubber was too old and it was more like riding a cut slick than it was riding a rain.
I went down right away, and then after that, maybe I just didn't trust him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got in your own head some.
I forgot how
Oh.
pumped I was on those tires, dude. They felt so good.
Yeah, you tore them apart, dude. Charlie had set his fastest lap that next lap, chasing you guys. This previous lap we just watched, that was his fastest. You guys were both in the 102s, but you had done a 102.4 as your fastest, and Charlie's fastest was a 102.8. And ultimately, you had 5 laps in this moto in 102s, where Charlie only has 2 laps in the 102s. You getting a big head there lapping the Supercross racer?
No, because I know what he would do to me, like at any other dirt track or
Anytime he's on a dirt
bike.
bike.
Yeah, when we go out and ride Moriarty or anywhere with him.
Because he would do this to me.
I like we can kind of see Sketchy chasing Sequino and Wink, and they're in the vet class and they're on 450s. So definitely a little bit of a disadvantage for Eller being on 250. But that 450 that Sequino's on the Yamaha, the 429 Sequino, is Eller's old bike. So Eller does not like getting beat by his old equipment. I always like seeing that.
So if he takes the dirt route again.
You wanted to ride Supermoto.
It's like, I paid for dirt, I'm getting dirt.
He's a purist.
This sweeping left over that hill,
Yeah.
like you could go so fast on it, but it was terrifying to just hold it wide. But
Yeah, like, I don't know if terrifying's the right word. It's exhilarating, Johnny.
I think
just like
it's
it 'cause-
just light up and just swap.
Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Sequino put it in there.
I like coming over that hill because, like, your body is over the grass, but your tires are, like, still barely on the asphalt. It's so cool.
And you're blind going into your line if you want to be hugging it tight.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see some fresh blood in the sport. Tony Wink, the big white suit there, he's a OG in the motocross community. Owns a track up in Iowa for moto, and he was a long time. I think he owned Pit Pass Moto. It was like one of the early moto podcast radio shows. He's since sold it, but it's cool to see him get into Supermoto and pick it up and obviously do well. Because Eller and Sequino, hell yeah, Simpy, first win.
I didn't realize the gap was that big. Honestly, thought he was on me the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, because I really tried to make a point of not looking back until, like, the end. I was just trying to stay focused and not blow it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's actually good. I like it if you can stay present like that, because that's the worst thing you can do when you're in the lead is just start thinking. I mean, you gotta think about hitting your marks, but that's about it. You don't want to think about anything else. So after this first moto, your tire was good. And then the next moto,
Hell yeah, dude.
well, where you had an open pro moto in between that you did on this tire, and then it was gone.
Yeah, it's looking up good.
Super toast.
No doubt. Hell yeah.
That's cool, Charlie. It was congratulatory toward you. Sometimes as racers, we get too fired up and you don't want to talk to the other guy.
Nah, he was super cool about it. Like, I could tell he was bummed out for sure. Which I
Yeah.
But he was super nice and super cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, it didn't even really set in for me like that whole weekend. Like, it was like my first dub, dude. IMI special.
Yeah, no, we were stoked for you, dude. And to do it like he hole shotted, you tracked him down, you passed him, you pulled away. There was no like bike problems. There was no thing that you can have in your mind to be like, oh, well, it only happened because of this, you know?
Yeah, I kind of have that though, because it only happened because it was asphalt and rain.
Yeah, but it was the same for everyone. It wasn't like there was a failure from like, or a crash or whatever. You could put X, Y, or Z as the reason for that. He had to race those same circumstances that you did, and you came out on top.
It was a fun weekend, man. Like, all the rain was kind of a pain to deal with, but it was just a cool weekend.
And then we saw him on the screen a few times, but Dan Ragar on the 121, he's an OG Supermoto guy. He's been racing Supermoto for probably as long as I have and stuff, but it was cool to see him bring out that old carbureted Honda race lights class. Get your gear off, Simpy. Congratulations. Go record a moto. Good job, boy.
Appreciates it.
Alright, so Moto 2 in the afternoon. Track's dried out. We got rear slicks. Oh, that's my sister. Her name's Toad. Did you go slicks front and rear, or did you still have a rain on front like Charlie?
Rain front, slick rear, if I remember right.
Charlie's fired up.
I think that yeah, this one's tough to tell. A little drier conditions. But
Yeah,
it's
also
an
a
interesting
bit of
moto.
a
Yeah.
like you don't know what's going on. And it's probably good that we swapped the race order too for this because you went out in Open Pro and had a flat rear.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If the race order had been normal, you could have like your day in the lights class would have been done.
Yeah. Let's see what he does on the start. Oh, another horrible start. How surprising.
Give Charlie another beautiful start. Ooh. Oh, Charlie tucks the front.
And then you can just see him
Sketch
running
ball.
out of it. It's so gnarly.
You look back like, did that just happen?
Oh my gosh. I thought they were gonna do something like
Red flag it.
restart
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
I liked after the race, Eller was saying to me, he's like, I didn't crash. My bike crashed. I stayed up.
There goes Rydalsh, Toxic Motor Racing.
Yep. Gotta love it when he can take a break from slinging tires and parts to actually get out on track.
Charlie's already charging through the pack.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. He
Now,
definitely
if you
made
thought he was
ground
fired up, he's fired up now. Dude,
Yeah.
look at the way you went underneath Ragor right there. You guys are just sending it, like, not knowing how that rain tire is going to hold up as it's drying out. Dude, look at that.
Oh
He
my
just goes
goodness.
right
Oh
around.
my goodness.
Oh, man. Cam's like, jeez.
Well, I went out on Cameron's tires and they did not feel good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's what had happened.
Yeah, because we did. Well, I don't even remember how it worked out, but I went out before this race and swapped tires with Cameron, and it felt like garbage.
Yeah, because you had shredded that fresh tire that you were so stoked on. It was gone. So then you go.
Those tires we raced in Sturgis the year before.
Yeah. Well, me and you were on the old ones, but then Simpy went and bought a fresh. Was it front and rear, or was
No,
it just
I
the
had.
rear?
I still had the fresh set from that Wisconsin one because I had to buy a set out there last year. So I mean, really, they weren't even that new, but they were still good. Great, actually.
They met Flo's dog. Tony Wink just trying to chase you down that 450.
The old Padre.
What was your mindset on this? Was this one a little harder to stay focused because you did get that initial gap right away?
I almost felt like that made it easier because like I didn't really. I knew he wasn't right there behind me. Towards the end of the race, though, I started to get worried that he was like coming in, but because I felt like I just kind of did a little more of a chill pace.
Mm-hmm.
So towards the end of the race, I was a little worried that I may have overdone it, but I don't think he got like terribly close. But the first portion of the moto, I was just kind of cruising along like I knew I didn't have any pressure, so I was just being smooth.
Yeah, I've found sometimes when I get in those situations where you get the lead and it's because of mistakes on other people's fault and all of a sudden you get a big gap, I kind of can ride in my own head and almost be my worst enemy and try to be protective.
Eller's charging back.
Yeah, Eller, that was a... You made that tight area work for himself right there. Now he's going by Cameron. It's almost like the same exact thing we saw from Charlie's, but Eller doing it now a couple laps later.
Yeah, exactly. Cuts him off right at turn one.
It's like almost mirror image of it. It's pretty funny. But yeah, Simpy, so this moto was shortened, the day was running out of time, to 6 laps. And you set your fastest lap on this lap here, and you went 2/10 faster than you did the first moto.
Oh,
So
wow,
like
that's
for the
impressive.
track being kind of dried out, the speeds really weren't all that much different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Charlie's got clear track to you, but you guys are pretty much logging almost identical lap times. And Cameron,
yeah, he still like tries to slide into that horseshoe one.
yeah, I've never liked sliding into that. Cameron and Rhaegar actually got to battle this one, so Cam was figuring it out.
So who's Rhaegar?
Dan, he's a Colorado local. I'm not sure if he's always been up in Colorado. That's where I've always seen him race and stuff, but I've seen him racing that series since I've been racing it in probably 2011 and on. And I think he was an established guy then and stuff, so that's why I was saying I think he's been racing Supermoto probably near as long as I have. But he was always on the 250F. And he has a 450 for the Colorado races. Except, but he brought out the 250 so he could ride the lights class this weekend. It's one of those old twin pipe carby Hondas.
Did that say the gap between me and Charlie was only 2 seconds?
It's more than that.
Maybe I'm doing wrong.
There's sometimes, like you were saying, Sippy, where I'll like the bike will naturally float into that horseshoe, but man, I don't like to kick it out there for no reason.
7 seconds?
Yeah. Oh, 7 seconds. Yeah, I looked at the wrong one. Yeah, I had to just keep it traction the whole time around. Just felt too sketchy trying to slide into it.
Do you recall what the traction felt like? This moto being on the slick and the track kind of having a dry line for him?
Oh, it felt amazing. No, it felt great.
Okay.
I didn't really notice it. It was pretty consistent around the whole track too. Like it just kind of kept to the same line. It was fine.
You think you're running? You think you're running at the pace of like a hot day?
No.
Probably not the pace, but probably
Probably
the effort. The effort was probably similar.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the difference probably isn't that crazy.
All right. So fun fact, Simpy. Where do you think your fast lap ranked overall in this race? Like
overall in lights class?
Yeah. Did you have the fastest lap of the race? Second fastest? Third fastest?
And when did you do it?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie had a faster one that lap or that moto.
Charlie did have a faster one than you at a 102.116 to your 102.202. And guess what Sketchball's fastest lap was?
What?
A 102.201. So he had you by 1,000th of a second.
Oh, goodness. That's crazy.
But see, Sketchy's, he's making up time, dude.
Yeah.
He's slowly figuring it out.
He's just got to get rid of some of the sketchiness.
Yeah. But then, what would that make him, you know?
But then the sketchiness leads to, like, sick running out of high sides. So
Exactly. All right, I'm going to throw up my screen so you guys can see it. So is Steve going to talk to us at all today, or is he going to just ghost us here?
last.
It is what it is. But yeah, Dan, the guy we were talking about on the Honda, he's been running Supermoto for as long as I can remember, as far as the Colorado guys go. And so I really appreciate his support and being one of the few Colorado guys to come out and actually run in this race in the wet, since they seem to have an aversion to the wetness.
Yeah, we didn't really have a turnout from the Colorado Supermoto guys.
Nah, that was a bit of a bummer to see. But when we went up for the next race in the dry, there was plenty of them.
Yeah.
There was more people that showed up for that than overall for the AMA.
What do you think's going through Charlie's head? He's like, I'm gonna take down that Simpy guy.
Cannot believe I let a simp go around me.
Tony.
Cameron got a launch off his line.
Mm-hmm. And it was cool to see Cameron actually battle that one. The first moto, he was a ways back. His lap time, the first moto was a 1:11. Rhaegar was a 1:08. And in that second moto, Rhaegar and Cameron battled it out, both doing 1:07s. We got Sketchy picking up his bike. Champagne champ. So I don't know if you guys heard, but we got some news to talk about as far as American Supermoto.
What's
Is that a
the news,
rhetorical
buddy?
question?
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell us the news.
We're sending a team to race Supermoto Nations this year.
Oh, gosh, who's on the team?
Oh, I mean, you would think it'd be like Dustin Hoffman and Gage McAllister and probably Nikki and stuff. Well, we got Nikki. Nikki's on the team. And we also got Bronson because Bronson's been over there racing S1. And then he came over here and he's been killing it and making flat track mains and just doing all things motorcycle stuff. And then we got myself somehow picked for the team. Yeah. We're going to be going over and racing the Castelletto circuit. You guys ever seen that place?
Yeah, I've seen some videos of it.
It's got like that.
Is this the one?
It's got
Is
the
this one right on
asphalt
Ride 3?
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's super rad.
I'm so stoked for you, dude. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah. I can't believe it, honestly. Like, it feels kind of surreal stuff, but it's one of those things where it's like having Dustin or Gage would probably be cool to have, but it's also with the AMA having to have a say. This year they wanted a racer that was actually racing, and then it's not something that we're able to just get funding for and stuff, so we're having to all pony up some money to make it happen. But we're racing for Maserati, and that's making it a lot easier over there because he has that PMA team, and since Maz has been over here, he knows us. It's an easy connection. He's an hour away from the track. We get to ride these beautiful factory TMs. And that I'm honestly really excited to ride and just feel,
Yeah.
feel what those bikes feel like.
Yeah, I've talked to Nikki a little bit about like some of the differences and stuff, but I'm excited to see what you feel and how you interpret it.
Yeah. And then we got our team manager of Steve Alkire. Probably thinking of doing business or something there.
Terrible photo.
What you think that mustache smells like?
Steve, you said no photos exist of you with long hair. Well,
I was wrong.
Brenda had one.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Look at that Yamaha Glizzy in the background. So yeah, I've been to the Castelletto de Bruzzi circuit several times on S1 GP weekends.
Can you pull up some video footage of
It's a very nice circuit.
Pull it up, Jamie.
It's a very nice circuit to visit for visitors and racers. It's a very nice facility. Everything's on asphalt, and it's very convenient to walk from one end of the circuit to the other. They've got a nice little cafe. And then the track itself is it's a very demanding circuit. it's a very large circuit. It's an over 2 minutes a lap time just on the asphalt, and then you add a dirt section
long
to
track.
it. So yeah, it's a very long track. A lot of area to gain time, but a lot of area to also lose it.
So will there be the asphalt off-road section and also a real dirt section?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Rad.
Yeah, and they'll have that. That dirt section will pretty much just be a fresh. I don't know. It'll probably be kind of a similar layout to what they've had, but they typically don't run that dirt section all that much throughout the year. Correct, Steve?
Right. I believe they only run it on special events. It basically they take a chicane off the back straight, and there's no jumps, but a lot of braking bumps, a lot of acceleration bumps. So it's very hard
really
to get in and out of the. Right? Yeah, it's very hard to get in and out of the turns quickly and maintain your momentum. And then, of course, when you come back onto the asphalt, the track gets very dirty with as you scrub tires off, and actually you keep dust on your tires all the way until you get to turn 1.
I think will that be like the most American thing we feel is a dirty track? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. After turn 1, the track's clean, and yeah, it's a very, very fast track from that point on.
I'm trying to find like a MX or a S1 GP from Castelletto. Lombardia,
Lombardia, yes, that's it.
Okay.
From 22.
Yeah, okay.
This is the event that I was able to be at last year, and I was able to watch Nick compete. I believe it was one of Nick's first races over there.
This track has like some cool elevation change to it too. Oh, this is an old one. This is from when Schmidt was on Hondas. And they call that inside section that they're in right here with the jumps the sky section, no?
Yes, the sky section, and since then they've added just a few more bumps, I believe, on the exit of the sky section, just to kind of slow your momentum through the tight.
Oh, yeah, you can see the dirt on their tires.
Yeah, you can see how the track stays dusty almost all the way to turn 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so techy.
Oh, it's going to be a very techy track. There's our guy. Steve, you're the Lucas Whisperer. Is he going to be ready to go for Nations, or is his injury a little more than what he'd like?
No, he will be ready for Mate. He'll be ready for the final round, but I do not know if they will have an Austrian in Italy for Nations. He said they didn't have a manager at the at the time, and he didn't know about.
Did we steal you away from him?
He didn't know about a budget as well, and as we've experienced, and it's the budget is actually really the hardest part of going racing in Europe.
Yeah, no doubt.
A few donations, right? Like we're having some.
Yeah,
we've had very good success with donations. The guys have been very fortunate.
I'll share a link of the Venmo post.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you to all the sponsors that have donated. And those individuals, very, very appreciated.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool to see how many people stepped up.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, we had a rough calculation of about $25,000 budget, and that was with Moz helping us out with a good deal on bike rentals, us staying pretty much at his place and having transportation covered, and a lot of really key things just
that's a great
fall into our lap, and it's still a very expensive thing to pull off,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rather expensive, but I know you and I both have incurred costs, and we're still incurring them, and we're not even in country yet. So that's also
Yeah, for real. I saw Team France announce their where was it? Nick sent it to me. But they got their junior team and their senior team for
and their junior team will probably be a top 5 team.
yeah. No, Nicky was like, they're going 1-2.
So okay. Oh wow! So Steve Bono's on the junior team.
Yeah,
Wow,
that surprised me too.
That's
And
crazy because Steve Bono's he's running P3 in the championship.
Yeah,
P4.
No, I saw that and I was like, what?
And then an appearance by Nicholas Cousin.
Mm-hmm. And then we got the OG himself.
It's been some years
Tom,
since he's
Tom Schreier.
Yeah, it's that I hope it'll be great for you to experience. When I was there last year for the S1 GP race, even Lucas Hallbacher, who I was kind of hanging out with through that race weekend, even he says Thomas is a legend. So even as we watched him do qualifying, even Thomas, even Lucas said he's the legend, and it really is something to kind of. We've all seen him on the internet over so many years. It's different to see him on track, and it'll be the first time I get to see Sylvain Bedart. I mean, he's even an older legend than Thomas at this point.
Right.
Sylvain Bedart is back. He goes back to X Games.
Right. Yeah.
So tell us about the bike a little bit, Butters.
So we're riding for Maserati's PMA team, and they lease factory TMs from TM, so they're not kit bikes built. They're going to be legit factory bikes from what I hear, which is pretty, I don't know, pretty exciting, honestly.
Yeah, these are factory bikes provided really by Ivan Lazarini's L30 factory team. They're serviced exclusively by that team every 20 hours. And they have just a lot of those extra little kit pieces that are on a factory bike that is not available on the standard editions. Even if you buy the race kit, it's still missing some of the little trick kits that this bike has.
That's sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it feels like to ride such a short wheelbase and such a specialized bike in a sense. I think over here the TMs kind of get looked down on because they're not as well known. But over there they've dominated for over the last decade.
I'm excited for you. You're going to get to experience a true Italian bike on a true Italian circuit, and I think that will be pairing them together makes more sense. We all thought that Lucas's bike wouldn't make sense on American tracks, but he showed that it does. You just have to know how to ride it, and it works very, very well everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, last year I remember in State Line when they first built that bike, and Franco went over and built it at KTM like the week leading up to it, and they show up and we're all looking at it and stuff, and I got Franco to let me pull it off the stand so I can sit on it and just feel it. I'm like, damn, this thing's like, it was so stiff in the rear, and the rebound was like crazy slow, and the front had like good suppleness, but like you could still tell it was stiff. And then when I raced Lucas in the Vet 25 class on Saturday before the premiere event on Sunday, Shane and Dustin clean each other out, and then I'm behind Lucas. I'm like, all right, let's see if I can stick with him. I don't think I've ever been so pulled so hard in my whole life. Like, Lucas was gone in 3 laps, I couldn't see him. And I was just in state line. I'm usually not that much of a slack there, and he was gone. It was wild.
Yeah, it's he was fun to watch. And even after those races, I was with them that weekend at State Line, and as he came off the track, you saw him just take off and leave, and he came back in the pits and he kept talking with Franco about how he could make the bike faster and how he thought he could still take 1 to possibly 2 seconds off of his lap time.
That guy.
So he was always searching for how to make the bike faster, and they were always messing with the suspension just ever so slightly to give him just a better feeling. It's actually really fun to watch. It was almost like a MotoGP debriefing. They were always searching.
Does he ever come off the track happy? And Franco's like, no, I want to do stuff, or is it pretty much pretty consistently he's searching for stuff?
No, there's a lot of times that he's happy, but they're always searching. Like they're never content, I guess is the right. Happy is they're happy, but never content, I guess. Russ.
Yeah. Yeah, we do got a little bit of a sneak peek of what the bikes and gear is going to look like. So that should be pretty cool. Bell was cool enough to donate us helmets for it. And Nick designed a layout for the helmets, layout for gear. He'll be in his own 41 stuff. Bronson and I are getting hooked up through MVD for leathers.
Those helmets.
Yeah. Helmet designs.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to ride a TM. That's gonna be so cool.
How much of those logos have filled up?
Probably a good amount. I mean, there's other stuff like you could probably fill on the straight part of the back fender and stuff where a lot of stuff normally goes. But
how much would I have to pay to get a Team Jerk logo on there?
Probably like $600 or $900. We might be able. We'll get with Nick and we'll see what we can do. That'd be sweet. Get a Team Jerk logo on there.
I'm excited for you guys to ride in the colors. I got to do it when I went to Asia, and I feel that because it'll be a nations race, and you'll have, I think you'll have a lot of other patriotism from other countries. So it's fun to race under the red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I was telling someone the other day, like I've always had this dream of going and racing in Europe, pretty much since I would turn pro in 2007 and seeing the Mate Superbikers event and stuff, and thinking one day I'd like to go over and do that. It was probably mostly thinking with Mate in mind and stuff, but it was never a thought to me that I'd ever get a chance to go do it for the Supermoto nations and stuff and be like one of those 3 guys on the team to do that. So that's just, I don't know. It's wild. And to get to hang out with Miles. Like that makes it even better, I feel like.
To me and a lot of other people, you are the people's champion of Supermoto. So I'm excited for all 3 of you to go race this event. I know that I've watched all of you race since I first ever got into Supermoto so many years ago. And you guys were all kids then. And now you're getting to go, race a really great race in Europe.
What year of State Line was this?
That would have been 17. That was the year the berm in the background. I kept punting
year
dudes
Chris
over.
Hodgson and Andy McLeish.
Right,
Yeah.
look how fresh that bike looks.
So Tyler
Yeah, that's
O'Hara,
your bike, Ryan.
Yeah.
Tyler O'Hara must have gotten 3rd place that year then. No?
Yeah, you're probably right there. Yeah,
So
that was
Joey,
one of the years
Dustin.
I think that was the first year I qualified on the front row, and I was like, let's go. And then I got a bad start. Punting people, crashed. And then I hit the ground and was just like, I really just took dudes out, dicked everyone over, only for me to go ruin it for myself. Then I felt like even more of a dick for taking people out. But yeah, support Clutch Industries. These guys kill it, and they stepped up huge. They offered to give to help out Nick and Bronson for the event. Obviously, Nick's already got his own stuff going on with his own leathers, so he chose to stay there. But it was just cool to see him like reach out when we told him that they were doing the Nations thing, and he was like, "If you guys want to do leathers, like, let me know, and we'll figure it out."
That's right.
yeah.
Yes. And it's going to be a tight turnaround too. We do Nations on like the 14th, 15th, I want to say, or maybe it's like 13th to the 15th. I think it's a 3-day event. And I fly back to the States on Tuesday. And then that next weekend is the North American Supermoto shootout in Oklahoma.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, so we're gonna turn around and drive 10 hours. At least it's like semi-close. We're not driving to Wisconsin, you know?
And then a week
what
or
did Ryan
two
say?
after that, you have the final round of AMI Supermoto.
Yeah, exactly. My wife's gonna kill me, guys.
Yeah, Ryan was saying, "Oh, I feel so sorry for him."
Poor me, I gotta go spend a couple weeks in Europe. How could I forget the website? Getanass.com.
Getanass.com.
I'm very excited for this.
I think it's gonna be really cool. Yeah, I think America needs something like this because right now, with the level of support in America for manufacturers, for teams, it's really hard to justify a full nationwide series with how big America is. And so you only get a few guys that can like afford to chase it, the whole thing. And so to have an event that you can go and support your local, hopefully you have a local series close enough to you to where it's not too much of a drive. Like for us, it's 6 hours to Colorado and stuff. You go and you do one of those events that acts as a qualifier, and then you get to go to this big shootout that's going to be somewhere centralized. From what I'm hearing, it's going to not be at the same track every year. And so that should be cool. Might bounce around. Maybe it'll become like a Loretta Lynn's, and maybe it does kind of stay in like a Oklahoma or some even more central than that in the future. I think that's kind of shape up depending on how it goes, honestly. But I do think it's going to be cool because it can draw out guys that don't race anymore, and they can figure out how to get to 2 races a year. It can draw guys that are you're just weekend warriors at your local clubs, and it can also draw the guys that will travel to all these races regardless.
Yeah, we're hearing things about different people coming in with different purses and stuff. So,
Yep.
Hopefully there'll be some money there. We'll know shortly. I think there already is some spoken for. So,
yeah, our guy Kenny Troxel that we just recently brought on to help us write stuff on SMR. He's been crowdfunding and highlighting riders and stuff, and giving us a way to get the community involved. So you guys go check out Kenny's slide on SMR Magazine. You can every week, every Saturday, they'll drop new rider, interesting highlights on who they are and what they like and all that kind of stuff. With Brady, he honestly should have just interviewed Brett. Like, Brett's the guy.
yeah, gotta give him some old man wisdom.
And we got Team Australia going too this year for Nations. It's weird. Steve, I think you got to be the guy that comes up with the banter. I know you want us to do the banter to go against McLean, but I feel like
some help. I need some help.
I don't know him too well, so hard to make memes.
Well, you don't want to make it too mean. You want to make it funny, but a little offensive.
A little bit racist.
Yeah. So, but it's got to be more funny than offensive. It can't, it's
Right.
And we're gonna see them, and it's good, funny humor. We want to make this, it's fun. It's good that we'll get to see Josh again in Europe
Yep.
and
For
a couple
sure.
other Aussies. I can only imagine, as expensive it is as it is for us Americans to go. I can only imagine how expensive it is for their team. So
Yeah.
we can only applaud all these other teams.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're shipping their bikes over from what
I was
know, but
wondering
maybe
what they
not.
were. I was wondering what they were going to ride.
I just started a conversation with him to do an interview and stuff that we'll have up on SMR as soon as we can sort all those details. But
unfortunately,
we'll figure out some of that stuff.
If they ship their bikes there, it'd be like us shipping bikes there. They just wouldn't. It wouldn't
Where's
work.
Timmy going? To the sky.
That's a triple. So he's going to land in like a little single roller, and then he's going to double into a berm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very techy section in a part of
2019 state line.
That's sick.
Yeah, funny thing was I hit it first in practice, which was surprising, and I greased it, and then I like go and tell Hoffman, and I'm like, dude, it was so easy. I did it last lap practice. He was like, what, really? And then I go out next practice, frame it so hard that I scared myself the whole weekend. I didn't do it again. And then Timmy's out there doing it on the 150 like every lap, and I was too scared to hit it again on my 450.
Hell yeah, Timmy.
But that's Timmy. He's scared of landing, so he just tries to overshoot him.
I think you need to have just a little section on Alberto Mazzariti talking about Timmy V in the dirt section.
Remember,
for as far as a European and someone who's very S1 oriented like Alberto is, for him to experience someone like Timmy V in the dirt section, let's just say he was shocked.
Just shook. Yeah, like Timmy V, it doesn't matter how hard you want to go in the dirt. If you feel like you have speed on the dirt on Timmy and you send it past him, he's just going to send it harder. There's no winning with Timmy V in the dirt. Like, Timmy will die. He'll legitimately die before you beat him. Well, boys, that was AMA round 2 of the lights class and our own Simp and Sam's very first win.
Yeah,
and some exciting news. So,
looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season unfolds.
Yeah.
So after round 2 right now, on this day, from what we just saw, Simpy, were you in the points lead?
No, he was 3 points down because he got a third at the first moto in California.
Yeah.
And Charlie went 1-1-2-2 and Simpy went 3-2-1-1. So no, he's down 2 points. He's down 2 points.
Round 2.
And from there, we will see how it goes. If Simpy can hold his head above water or not.
Simpy, how do the tracks favor you through the rest of the year?
I've never been to the one we're going to in Wisconsin. Is that Road America?
Yep.
So I've never been to that one before. Tucson's kind of a wild card. I've improved quite a bit every time I've been there, but there's dirt, so.
You say there's dirt, like you have an aversion to dirt. but you
No.
come from dirt, you come from flat track, you have no asphalt experience
And I
other
think-
than Supermoto.
And I
Well,
feel if,
and you had an R1 when you were a child.
We don't talk about those days.
but I also feel the dirt
Oh,
section in Tucson is something that doesn't necessarily lend it to some of Charlie's strengths.
Yeah.
Charlie really does well in fast flowing dirt sections, and Tucson's pretty, stop and go.
Yeah. But we'll see. And then is he planning on doing Oklahoma?
No, I haven't heard. But he did. I'm
Qualify.
pretty sure. He's qualified for NAS. So
Yeah.
The
So.
Loretta Lynn's of Supermoto.
we went to 2 qualifiers just because we were scared we weren't going to make it.
But I've never been out to Oklahoma either, so there's just no telling.
I rode that track in the rain. That's my only experience on it. But that is a very cool track. Kind of a unique asphalt where it's got some patches in the corners and weird seams, different things. That it's definitely one of those tricky tracks, kind of like an IMI in a sense, where the one we just watched today, that turn onto the back straight, if you don't get your tip in right for that and you hit that seam just right, or we watched you in the 450 class when you spun around because you got on the gas too hard over the seam. Little things like that, I feel like are going to come into play for Oklahoma in the NAS race stuff. But luckily, we don't really have any heavy hitters from Oklahoma that have knowledge of the track racing. So it's going to be the same for everyone. We're all going to go into it blind and probably have an epic time.
Yeah. But we'll see. It'll take Charlie having some problems for me to swoop in. I mean, I'm close close is relative, but I'm close in points with him. So, if he gets a DNF or something like that, that'll put me in a decent position.
For sure. Yeah, I think if you guys can, it's going to be hard because I don't know who's going to be able to get between you guys and finish between you guys to help get that point spread to change. And stuff, unless we get a C-Pain or if Austin decide to pull double duty and ride the 250 again. I'm not sure who could be that gap to fill those points, but if you guys keep going 1-2, it's going to stay tight. But as long as you don't let him go on a run.
Yeah.
And stuff, I think that'll be the main thing.
Yep.
But if he does, I mean, Charlie's been so close to getting this title so many times. So
yeah,
he's definitely due. I don't know none of you are going to go on a run like Reimer did in the lights class, though. It's untouchable. Untouchable. All right, boys. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover?
I think we got it all.
Well, again, congratulations on taking that dub, Simpy.
Thank you, sir.
I definitely wouldn't let yourself have excuses because you guys all had the same thing that day.
You earned it.
The only thing I would take to heart is that Sketchballs beat you by 1,000th of a second in the best lap in that second moto. So there's that part.
Yeah.
He was racing conservatively and he got it done. So
yeah, that's what I was asking. I was trying to see if there was an excuse there, but you said he was on, so yeah.
Sketchy's just good.
He is good this year.
Yeah,
for sure.
Stay tuned for when we cover the NAS race at IMI. Sketchy goes good there.
No show.
All right, boys.
Alrighty, folks.